And we are live. You can catch us on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
And this episode is called Throne with the Wolves. We have two special guests all the way from Canada coming over here today, thanks to Mike Barron. So I wanted to have them introduce themselves and tell us what you guys do.
My name is Jason Arsenault. This is my wife Jenna. We're married. We have a dog training business in Canada. So we're in Alberta, Saskatchewan area. We're working with Mike now. So we're working on a coaching program for dog trainers.
Yeah, so, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, like I said, Jenna Arsenault. We met about 3 years ago and combined our dog training businesses and just scaled it up. And
so is the last name Arsenal like Arsenal or Arsenal like guns? I mean, yeah, you guys come up with an arsenal over here today. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So the last name is it's spelled Arsenault.
But it still sounds dope, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we use a play on words for the business for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So why don't you give the audience the name of your business and your guys' like quote that you guys had, because we're Hows over Baz, we're over here Wolves over Sheep, and you guys happen to be like in the same vicinity as us over here. So why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So the dog training business that we have is Arsenal Canine Academy.
Okay.
And then we have a coaching business now to help dog trainers, which is Arsenal Canine University.
Right.
And one of our taglines is, don't throw me to the wolves, they come when I call. So it's, basically like, you can't throw us to the wolves because they're going to listen to us because we know how to train them. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah.
And show them a little tat you were showing me on your arm right here.
Yeah, so it's all based on Nordic mythology. We got some.
You got the wolf right here.
Yeah.
He's howling already, fellas.
There's some ravens up there too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
All about the wolves.
That's
All
cool.
the wolves.
That's cool. So, how long you guys been doing your business for?
Well, I started about 6 years ago on my own, and I had expanded to a few different locations within Saskatchewan, Canada. So, for anybody that doesn't know where Saskatchewan is, it's right above North Dakota.
Okay.
So where we first started was about an 8-hour drive from the border. So we're kind of far up north, and I had a few locations there, and I was doing my own thing. And Jen and I met at a training event, and she had her own thing going on, and
That's how you guys met?
that's how we met.
And it was
yeah.
love at first sight, huh? The training event?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You saw him howling, huh? And that was it?
Yeah. I saw the wolf tattoo. I'm like, yeah, there you go.
You guys started howling at each other? Is that what happened?
We did.
Yeah,
we
it was a
did.
little awkward, but it's good.
Awkward to everybody else. Like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
So what you were doing training before, too? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah. So I had my own training business before, and then I was working with like $1 million cannabis company, and I'd originally got into it as a security guard because I wanted to get some dogs involved, and then when I realized that they hired me as security and they had no systems, no processes. This department was like empty. They had no idea what they were doing. I ended up going in and building out their whole security department, and then I just kind of moved through the ladder.
So security as far as like what guns and everything, and with dogs, or it was just the dogs first and then.
So I had my dog training business going already, and then I took that job to get into security with dogs. They were just hiring for handlers, not dogs, and I wanted to just work my magic and convince them that dogs were going to be good for them. But
That's cool. So you were in a different. Was that your business, your security business that you had?
I was.
Or are you working for somebody?
Yeah, I had my own business, and I was working with them to try to get my dogs contracted in.
Also trying to get your dogs to be the security for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's creative. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, so you guys end up meeting,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
you guys joined forces and just started your guys' own business together, or is it the same one of your guys' business names? You guys kept that, or you guys what ended up happening with that?
No, yeah. So she was way better on the business side than I was. Like I was just, you know, just trying to make it. I didn't really. I was a police officer before.
Okay.
So I was a police officer for about 15 years, and I went to a call that like totally just changed the trajectory of my career, of my life. Right. I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, so I went on PTSD leave. I was told not to go back to policing. Right. So I ended up, you know, taking some time off of work. I was told not to go back. I didn't know what I was going to do to support my family, right? I had you know, a couple of kids, and you know, it was really tough time. So I just decided I was, you know, gonna jump in and start my business, right? So that's when I started the dog training business. I really didn't have any backing from my police agency. They kind of just dumped me off. That was it, right?
Dang.
Yeah, it was. So it was kind of like I said, I was thrown to the wolves, right?
Yeah.
But I made the best out of the situation, right? And you know, everyone always told me I couldn't do it. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to train dogs? How are you going to train dogs for a living, right? But I ended up starting this company. I started out as Arsenal Canine, so it was, you know,
I like
said,
that name.
Yeah.
Like guns.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a few locations. We met at the place. She was way better at business. I'm just gonna get back to where I was. I was a better trainer. Like I'm a better dog trainer.
Like
A little bit.
I'll give
I'll,
you that.
I'll
give
say
you
that because
one.
we're
I'll
live
give you
right
that
now.
one.
But
Howl on that one.
Right.
I just
She was a holler on that one.
See, this is perfect. This is why I love this woman, because the wolf's job, the female wolf, she gets in front of the male, she protects him, she supports him. So that's like that's one of the best things about her, right? So we were working on two different companies. I was helping her with her training. She was helping me with my business. We were like, why are we doing this? Let's just jump in together.
because there was a little bit of ego. Because like I had my thing, he had his thing, and
Yeah.
we're like,
Who's
it's
backing
like
down?
it's like
Yeah.
it's like two like alpha wolves in one scenario. Like, oh, who gives up? Or like,
Yeah.
transitions.
But it was a good collab because he had connections to the police, right, to the force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get a lot of people to do the training through you guys to the police force that you were in, right?
Yeah.
So it was actually like was that a part of that? Like,
Did it help?
were you able to do that?
Yeah, I had made a lot more connections. Like I had traveled through Europe and the United States here to get all my training, right? Like I trained with some top level trainers, and like, I mean, not like she hadn't trained with some high level people either, but my experience was
I like
He's
that.
like, it's okay, honey.
my experience was a little more, right? Like I had a
Yeah.
little more
No,
more
for
of
sure.
Yeah.
that. So
Well, in business, you got to know your strengths, your weaknesses,
Exactly.
who's stronger and what. I mean, in reality, if you don't know that and you're trying to say, "No, I'm better than that in this,"
gonna mess it up.
your business ain't gonna flourish as it would.
Yeah.
So knowing, I mean, it took me a while to, as a business owner, it took me a while to do that same thing. Like, I'm strong everywhere. You know what I mean? But when if you really want to scale your business, you got to know your weaks and your strengths, and you got to know who you can put in place to strengthen you at certain areas.
yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
it's so funny too, because I was just laughing like a couple, about last week I was doing one of the policies, right? Like it's just something I'm just trying to learn, trying to get sorted out. So I'm working on this policy on one of the departments, and she said, I gave it to her to look at. She's like, oh yeah, it looks good, honey. And she's changing it all.
I have to do it like without him looking.
She's got to change it on me, right? Wasn't up to her standards, so. But I'm learning. It's all right.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I literally had a guy that worked for me, right? And all these things I had to do, basically like policies and different things for
Yeah.
my business. I would write it up and I would give it to him and say, "Okay, now do your magic to it."
Yeah.
And it would look like like something completely different, but he
That's
knew
it.
what I was trying to put on there.
Mm-hmm.
He just made it sound 100 times better. So I understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person like, hey, I know my weaknesses now. Like, I know you'll do better than me at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good. It's all for the better of the business, right?
It was, and that's where it was, like, before we were doing our own thing by ourselves, and, it was going good. Like, it wasn't like it was bad by any means, but once you had that pairing, and not only, like, our strengths were different, but, like, having each other to, like, bounce things off of and have that partnership was huge, because now it's like I'm not doing it all alone. I have somebody I can talk to and be like, hey, I'm feeling this way, or hey, keeping that mindset strong, right? If I had a day where I'm a little off, he's like, hey, like, you're good, right? And then next day, it's the same situation.
And
right?
that is not easy to come by.
Yeah.
Like that is like the biggest part of an entrepreneur's like weakness is a spouse
Yeah.
or a partner that doesn't have your back. That's like literally the biggest thing that can take a whole business down, just having the wrong partner. So that's really good that you guys found each other in the same industry. You guys understand each other, understand the business, and you guys are just complimenting each other on the weaknesses.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really good. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, and it didn't take us long once we started working together to know that this was going to be the right fit personally as well. So
So how long did it take before you guys started working together when you guys met?
I'll let her answer this one because I might get in trouble if I say the wrong thing.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Know your weaknesses.
Good idea. Good idea.
I was like, I don't know dates and stuff. But, no, it was, I don't know. We started, it was kind of personal and business at the same time. And then, I don't know, I would say, 6 months, we started, we kind of got more into the business side. And then we started getting, then it was more personal and
Yeah, because I
stuff
think it
like
was
that.
June when we met, December when we kind of actually, it was actually right around Christmas, right?
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we were married by August.
Damn.
The next year.
You got it. That's
You know what? I've had a few girlfriends.
how long that
and-
one?
Yeah.
So I kind of figured I knew what I wanted at this time, right? Like
Uh-huh.
I'm a little bit older than her, so I've
Oh, see, you give,
laughed like
give,
it.
give the younger pup. That's
Yeah.
right, man. That's
That's
right. You trade her. I just,
Lock this one in.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fast, but it was good because like we had the same, like our hobbies, our business, right? So like it doesn't bother me if he's up to midnight wanting to do work because
See,
I'm
that's-
usually
that's
there,
dope.
You
right?
really
So
find that.
that's so rare.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I want to ask you then, how soon did you guys start? Did it start? You guys start working together first, or you guys were dating first? What was first?
It was kind of the same.
it was really similar. Yeah, they both kind of flourished at the same time, but business probably was the priority at the start.
It was because we
Because
had
that's the focus, right? We're both entrepreneurs, and it was like
What made you decide to go into business together then? Like, what was the decision? Like, what were you guys thinking? Like, how did that come about? There had to be a situation that happened where, like, hey, we need to work together.
Yeah. Well, we kind of like had a moment where we realized that like I was taking, because his like training programs for training dogs were like phenomenal. And so I was taking his training programs and trying to implement it into my
Yours,
business.
okay.
And I was taking the business side and like policies and things like that and like implementing that. And then one day we looked at each other and we're like we're wasting so much energy by trying to have two things going at once versus just let's just combine, let's merge. So it was like one day in like November, I think we went to Belgium. It was right after Belgium because we
Yep.
went to Belgium together and did some training. Came back and
And
we
you
were
guys
like,
are really going hard on this
Right.
training.
Yeah.
You guys aren't playing around.
No.
No.
See, the people need to really listen to this then, because people could just be doing dog training. You guys are going like lessons after lessons, trying to be the best.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of dog training.
yeah.
So when it comes to that, do you guys have to go to like schooling to get certified, or how is it when you become a trainer?
Yeah, so the unfortunate thing is dog training is an unregulated industry.
That's good
so
for you guys then.
It's up to you as a trainer to get as much knowledge as you can.
Right.
Like, there's nothing stopping somebody from getting a pet dog and then teaching it how to sit and calling themselves a trainer and then trying to sell their services to people. But, like you said, we wanted to be the best, right? So I've spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars to train with different people, including travel and seminars and private coaching, all that kind of stuff,
And these,
right?
these are with trainers who are at the top of their level.
Yeah.
That you're training with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was just something that I knew that I needed to get done in order to help as many people as I could, because I'm not going to do anybody any service if I'm just, trying to teach a dog to sit with a cookie, right? Like, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
So, we realized that we needed to, invest in ourselves and invest in the training that we wanted to do. Right?
and never stop learning, like not to
Exactly,
that, but
we
there's
still
never, always constantly
That's one thing, you
investing,
can't
never
never stop
getting
learning,
comfortable.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's great. Like, it's going into our coaching business too, right? Like, I guess after we kind of got together and we started, wanting to work on the business even more, we started putting ourselves in proximity of people who had been in a higher level business state than we were, right? So then our focus kind of transferred from spending that money on on dog training and learning dog training into learning the business side.
And so now you coach other people, and you guys basically charge them for that. There's a fee for that.
Yep.
That's good. I mean, so you got is that being a real lucrative business? Is that which business is doing? Is it doing about the same? Which one's moving up more?
Well, we just are starting this coaching business.
Okay.
We're just
So
launching it.
yeah, so it's pretty new, but you know, with taking, like, because we've been doing our dog training business, you know, for 6 years now. Like, his is 6 years. I've been doing it for about 9 years, on and off. But taking all that information and that knowledge, right? Because it's unregulated, we learned the hard way, right? We had to, like, figure out how to do this, how to learn this information, what not to do in a business.
Thrown to the wolves.
You
again,
know,
right?
exactly, right? Like,
Exactly.
if you know, we've made all the mistakes for sure, right? So,
Yeah.
and been able to learn from them, and that's been huge. So now we're in a position where we're like, okay, we know what works, and we can help other dog trainers avoid a lot of that mess, and it doesn't have to take 9 years
Yeah.
to get this, to this level in your business, right? So, yeah, like I said, the coaching side's new, but with the information that we have, it's gonna be.
And I want to ask you a question because I get different answers, you know what I mean? But for entrepreneurs, I have my way of thinking on this. But as an entrepreneur, are you guys worried that those people that you're coaching will kind of like take away from what you guys are doing? Will it take away from your business? Is there any idea? How do you guys think about that?
Well, so I guess what we've done, like I've coached other trainers in the past. Have a trainer school, and so I know from that experience, like I did have my reservations before about it, but I have to, I want to look at it a different way. I want to make sure that people who have the same kind of passions that I do have the same opportunities that I do, and they have the same knowledge. So, I mean, if I can give them all the knowledge that I have, but is it in their personality to do the work, right? To put in the effort, to put in those long days, those long nights, and not give up when the times are tough, right? So you give them the information, but you can't make them.
See,
go
that's
anywhere,
what I
right?
love the answer. I know you're being like real cool about it, but me,
Humble.
I don't give a shit. I
Yeah.
say it straight out. Like, most people are not going to do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
They're just going to pay for the courses, and they might never even do anything with it ever. So that's what, see, my business, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I have interns that come in. I have all these different things that come in. And you think, oh, my God, I don't want to give my information out. But it's fine to. Because if anything, you do might help somebody grow in business. But a lot of the times they don't. It's a small percentage of people that start their own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like you got to be afraid. So people shouldn't be afraid to do coaching or do anything like that, any
just help other
type of
people.
training, because it's not like you shouldn't be worried about someone taking over your business. And if they do, then you're not doing something right anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like I think the same thing, and I loved your answer on it. More politically correct. But how we are on How's Over Baz,
Yeah.
we're so straight out
Yeah.
about how we say things. We're like, hey, we're not worried about you taking over. You got to be better than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we know how hard